all gonna end?
I don't know.
Hurry! Charlie, don't stand out there!
He didn't aim to hit me. He just wants to let me know he can. Come on out! You hear me? Come on out!
Trackdown. Starring Robert Culp. Brought to you by Lucky Strike. Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
A man like this wants a cigarette. He goes for the genuine article. Lucky Strike.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Hobie Gilman knew Lute Borden and his brother Rafe. They were troublemakers, rustlers, dangerous men with a gun who had so far managed to escape the law. Lute Borden had been arrested, but it looked as though he might go free unless a frightened man could be convinced that he should testify. That was Hobie's job.
Wagner's the only witness to aimless Judd's killing, and he's scared to death. Not that I blame him. He's got a wife and 2 kids to think of. Oh, here's some of the notes he got. When I first threw Lute in jail, Wagner was sure he was the one that did the killing. Now he can't make up his mind. The trial's tomorrow, and if he won't take the stand, Lute will be free. I don't know what you can do, but I'm sure glad you rode by anyway.
Where's Wagner now?
Over at the hotel. We got the whole family there.
Why?
Trying to prove to Charlie that we can take care of him and his family. We're doing everything we can to see that Rafe can't get to him.
You mind if I talk to Lute?
Help yourself. Well, if it ain't my old friend Hobie Gilman.
There's an awful lot of people I don't mind calling me friend, and you're sure not one of them.
Hey, what are you doing around these parts?
Making sure you get what's coming to you.
You mean you figure I'm gonna hang?
If you're guilty.
Well, don't waste your time. Won't you tell that 2-bit sheriff out there to open his door and let me out of here and save yourself a lot of trouble?
Well, you sound pretty sure of yourself.
Well, I might have me a good reason.
You meaning your brother Rafe?
I might mean that.
I wouldn't bank on it too much.
Well, I just thought I'd give you an easy way out, you know, for old time's sake.
Oh, well, thanks very much. I wish I could do the same for you. Where's Rafe, anyway?
Well, why don't you unlock the door and I'll be glad to find out for you.
Not that interesting.
Hey, Gil. Cut your high card for $5.
What for? If you won, you wouldn't have any place to spend it.
Well, I'll bet you this time tomorrow I'm standing in a bar with a pretty girl on each arm.
Yeah, you are, and I'll buy the drinks.
What do you want in here?
I want to talk to my brother. Any law says I can't?
Leave the gun here.
Sure. I don't want to cause any trouble.
I suppose you know Hobie Gilman's in town.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what about Wagner?
He's spooked. I don't figure he's about to talk.
Just on the off chance he does.
I'll be waiting for you outside the courtroom when you come out.
Well, I sure feel better if that ranger wasn't around, I tell you.
Oh, it's no cause for worry. I'll take care of him.
Your time's up, Rafe.
You can put that scattergun away. I told you I don't want to cause you any trouble.
Yes, sir? What do you have?
Oh, whatever you serve around here that passes for whiskey.
You, stranger in town?
Depends on how long you got to live here to be an old-timer.
I'm real new myself. You staying over for Loot Borden's trial tomorrow?
I'll be around.
Which way you betting?
What odds are they giving?
10 to 1 they hang him, and no takers.
Sounds like they've already held the trial.
As far as the town's concerned, there ain't no doubt he did the killing. A fella named Wagner saw him do it.
Well, he could be wrong.
Nope. Loot's as good as hung up to dry already. Not that it's any great loss to the community. From what I hear, they should have hung him years ago. Him and his brother both.
Well, I'll have to go along with you there.
The things you see when you haven't got a gun.
You got a gun?
Oh, that's just a manner of speaking. I'll buy you a drink.
Well, why not?
Give me another glass.
Bartender, you might like to meet this gentleman. It's Rafe Borden.
I hardly expected to see you here.
I got the advantage over you. I expected to see you. You're a little late, aren't you?
Well, there weren't no reason for me to be here no earlier.
Oh, that's right. You've been up in the hills killing cows and leaving notes around, haven't you?
Now, Hobie, you know I never could write a lick.
You don't print too good either.
You're not going to hang Loot, Hobie.
No, I'm not going to do it personally, but I'm going to see it gets done if he's guilty.
You're not going to do that either.
No? Why not?
You know what I'm going to do if they hang Loot?
Shoot me in the back?
You know I never gunned a man yet, except he was facing me.
What do you want for that, a medal? You've hid behind every law there is. You never fought with a man that had a chance of beating you, have you?
You sound awful high and mighty.
I wish I was. If I had my way, there'd be a special law for birds like you, or against you. Like a rabid dog. You growl a little bit before you chew somebody up, but not so as anybody can really hear you coming. You hang around this town, Rafe, and I'm going to do some collecting of my own for all the men you've killed face to face.
You running me out?
You stay, and I can always throw you in jail for threatening an officer of the law.
Now, Hobie, you know I wouldn't do a thing like that. This is just talk. Going to jail wouldn't do me any harm, and it wouldn't do you any good.
Yeah, I know that, too. Unless I can put you away for a long time. So instead of just getting out of town, maybe you better get clear out of the country.
Now, that's real big talk.
I feel big.
You know, Hobie, there's just one difference between you and me. All the men you ever gunned down, you'd hid behind a lawman's badge. I ain't that particular.
Yeah, something I can do for you?
What room is Charlie Wagner in?
Mr. Man came in here just before you asked the same question. I got orders not to tell. Upstairs, room 23.
Thank you. You ought to be careful of this thing. You might drop it and bust a foot.
Sorry.
I beg your pardon, ma'am. I'm Hobie Gilman. I'm with the Texas Rangers.
I thought
Yeah, I know what you thought. I'm sorry. Is Mr. Wagner here?
he's going to get some water for the children. They're asleep in there.
What are you doing here?
This is Mr. Gilman. He's a Texas Ranger.
If you came here for the reason I think you did, you're wasting your time. There's the door.
Well, I came to help if I can.
Mister, the only way you can help me is to get them to let me out of here so I can take my wife and kids and go home.
Well, why didn't you leave just now? That guard with the shotgun was sound asleep when I came in.
Well, he was wide awake when I went out.
But you can go home tomorrow, Mr. Wagner.
Why wait till then? I'm not going to that trial.
I'm afraid you'll have to now.
What's the sense of it? I didn't see anything.
That's not what you said before.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Well, I think you're making one now.
Well, you think what you like, mister.
Lute killed that man, didn't he? And you saw it.
Well, sure he killed him, but I'm not going to tell that to any jury.
Law's a peculiar thing, you know. It's made for your protection. But if you don't back it up, it's not worth a nickel.
Don't preach morals at me. I've got a wife and kids. Lute Borden hangs because of what I say. I've condemned all three of them to death.
I'll make a deal with you.
Not interested.
If you'll testify at Lute's trial, I'll give you my personal guarantee that you and your family won't be in any danger from Rafe Borden. Tomorrow or any other day.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, Mr. Gilman. If you could guarantee that, I'd like nothing better than to put Lute's head in a noose.
Well, I guess that's all I need to know.
Hold on a minute. I'm not saying that in court.
I give you my word. Neither you nor any member of your family will get hurt.
Mister, the only way you could keep that guarantee would be to kill somebody.
I just gave you my word. Good night.
Charlie, what are you going to do?
I still don't know.
You can be awfully busy and still have time for a cigarette. A lot of men like this one, Lucky Strike. It's the genuine article. Outdoors you can taste it when you smoke Lucky Strike. The honest taste of fine tobacco. That's what you get with Lucky Strike. Smoke one and see.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
The next morning, Ranger Hobie Gilman prepared to keep his promise. He knew Charlie Wagner would be called to testify. He didn't know what the witness would say. But no matter what was said, Hobie had to be ready to stop the violence that was sure to come when the trial was over.
You can talk to your brother.
I've already talked to him.
Have it any way you like. I don't need to tell you not to start any trouble here.
Call on the first witness for the prosecution, Mr. Charles Wagner. It's the understanding of this court that you were a witness to the murder of Mr. Amos Judd on August the 14th last.
Yes, sir.
Order in the court.
Wagner just took the stand.
What'd he say?
Nothing yet. But just in case, where's Rafe?
He's down at the saloon.
You going to throw him in the jug until Wagner and his wife get out of town?
On what charge?
Well, I can always think of something.
Well, thanks, but we can't keep him there forever. Besides, that's not what I promised. I'll take care of it.
Now that you've described the circumstances, could you identify the person who did the shooting?
Your Honor, I came into this court real scared. I'm still real scared. I don't have to tell the truth because there's only one person that can say I was lying. He's not about to say it. But a man's got to have his self-respect.
You've sworn under oath that you were the witness to a murder. Is the person who committed that murder seated in this courtroom?
Yes, sir, he's in this courtroom.
Would you point him out?
He's sitting right there, wearing handcuffs. Lute Borden.
Trial over?
Pretty soon.
I didn't think it'd take too long. You know Lute, he wouldn't hurt anybody.
No, not this time, Rafe. Somebody saw him do it.
Wagner hasn't got guts enough.
Haven't got guts enough to what? Ignore your threats?
I don't know what you're talking about. You gonna let him go loose?
Well, not for long.
By the authority vested in me as judge of this court, I sentence you, Luther Borden, to be hanged by the neck until dead. Court's adjourned.
The Mobil Station, stopping point for millions of American motorists, and with good reason. For Mobil products help make history on land, sea, and in the air. Mobil flew with the Wright brothers at Kitty Hawk, with Lindbergh on his pioneer flight across the Atlantic. Mobil products help the SS United States set a new transatlantic record. They help safeguard the Nautilus, world's first atomic-powered submarine. Mobil products were used by the early cars, by the world's fastest car as it streaked across the salt flats at Bonneville, Utah. And that's just part of the skill and achievement behind the Mobil sign and the Mobil dealer, who serves you with top-quality Mobil products and expert Mobil care for your car. No wonder millions of American motorists stop at this sign of friendly service. Why don't you?
Charlie.
Charlie, wait a minute.
Let him come to me. That ain't against the law. Let him come to me.
Listen to me, Charlie. I gave you my word.
What good is your word?
Let him come.
He's still waiting for me, isn't he? All right. I'm gonna kill him with my bare hands. Or else let him kill me. Maybe you'll arrest him. But he's not gonna hurt my wife and kids.
Now listen to me.
I've heard too much already.
All right. You wanted to shoot somebody. Go ahead, shoot me.
Not while you're wearing that badge. I'm not shooting a ranger.
Is that always stopping you?
You can't prod me into any play like that. Not with all these gun-toting deputies hanging around.
Sheriff? Tell your men to throw down their guns. You too.
You heard him.
There's nobody gonna interfere, Rafe. It's just you and me. I gave a man my word. I'm gonna keep it.
Wagner's got to leave town sooner or later, and so do you. I don't mind waiting.
I'm gonna give you two choices. You confess to killing Wagner's cattle and threatening the lives of his wife and children, and I'll see you get 20 years.
Now, why would I want to do any of those things you just mentioned?
That was the first choice.
What's the other one?
Well, I'm gonna buy you a piece of ground. About 7 foot long.
I told you before, I'm not going up against you here.
You might as well. I'm gonna kill you anyway.
I've known you too long. You wouldn't shoot me down.
I can kill you, and there isn't a soul in town that'd even frown at me.
That'd be murder. And that's what you was gonna hang Loot for. As long as you're wearing that badge, you can't touch me.
The badge doesn't protect you any more than it does me. I think I can gun you cold and take my chances in court without too much to worry about. You've done it plenty of times. Of course, they might hang me, but you won't be there to see it.
Sheriff?
You asking me for help?
You're supposed to be the law around here. I don't want any trouble.
The kind of trouble you got, I can't do anything about. Not that one of you draws.
You're a big man now, Rafe. You've got the people scared, especially the women and children, and men who've never had to draw a gun. Look around you. You think they're ever going to take your brag again? I'm going to make you crawl. Then I'm going to turn you over to them. And you look pretty riding a rail. All right. Start crawling. Take care of the burying. I promised Rafe I'd buy him a piece of ground.
Well, next week, another Trackdown story. I hope you'll see it. And when you buy your next carton of cigarettes, get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Trackdown was brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company. Remember, tobacco is our middle name. And here's a word for filter tip smokers.
They're just out, and they're just great. New dual filter Tarryton.
Look for the ring, 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 ring around. New dual filter Tarryton. The Tarryton ring marks the real thing in mildness and fine tobacco taste. Dual filter, dual filter.